Mwendesha mashtaka mkuu wa mahakama ya kimataifa ya uhalifu ametuma maombi ya hati za kukamatwa kwa waziri mkuu wa Israel Benjamin Netanyahu pamoja na kiongozi wa Hamas huko Gaza kwa uhalifu wa kivita. Karim Khan amesema kuna sababu za kuridhisha na za kuaminika kwamba wawili hao waliwajibika kwa uhalifu wa kivita na uhalifu dhidi ya binadamu kuanzia tarehe 7 Oktoba mwaka 2023. Waziri wa ulinzi wa Israel Gallant na kiongozi wa kisiasa wa Hamas Haniyeh, mkuu wa kijeshi Mohammed Deif pia wanasakwa ili kukamatwa. Mahakama ya ICC yenye makao yake makuu mjini The Hague imekuwa ikichunguza hatua za Israel katika maeneo yanayokaliwa kwa miaka mitatu iliyopita na hivi karibuni zaidi hatua za Hamas pia. Netanyahu hivi majuzi alitaja matarajio ya viongozi wakuu wa Israel kujiunga na orodha inayotafutwa na ICC kuwa ni ghadhabu ya idadi ya kihistoria. Kutokana na hilo, waziri wa mambo ya nje wa Israel ametangaza kuwa kamati maalumu itaundwa kufuatia tangazo hilo la mahakama ya kimataifa ya uhalifu. Israel Katz anasema kamati hiyo itaundwa kupambana na uamuzi wa ICC ambao anasema unanuia kufunga mikono ya taifa la Israel na kulinyima haki ya kujilinda. Katz anahitaji hatua ya mahakama ambayo imeomba hati ya kukamatwa kwa waziri mkuu wa Israel na kiongozi wa Hamas huko Gaza kuwa ni shambulio la moja kwa moja dhidi ya waathiriwa wa shambulio la Oktoba 7. Hakuna nguvu duniani itazuia Israel kurudisha mateka nyumbani na kuwaangamiza Hamas, anasema. Ameeleza vile kuwa anapanga kuzungumza na wenzake kote duniani kuhakikisha wanapinga uamuzi wa mwendesha mashtaka huyo wa ICC Karim Khan. Kwa upande wao Hamas, afisa mkuu wa Hamas Sami Abu Zuhri ameliambia shirika la habari la Reuters kuwa kutafuta vibali vya kukamatwa kwa viongozi watatu wa Hamas ni sawa na kulinganisha mwathiriwa na mnyongaji. Pia anadai uamuzi huo unahimiza Israel kuendeleza kile alichokiita vita vyake vya maangamizi.
On the basis of evidence collected and examined and analyzed by my office, I have reasonable grounds to believe that 3 senior leaders of Hamas, Yahya Sinwar, Mohammed Deif, and Ismail Haniyeh, bear criminal responsibility for the following international crimes committed on the territory of Israel and the State of Palestine from at least the 7th of October 2023. Extermination as a crime against humanity. Murder as a crime against humanity and as a war crime. The taking of hostages as a war crime. Rape and other acts of sexual violence during captivity as crimes against humanity and as war crimes. Torture during captivity as a crime against humanity and as a war crime. Other inhumane acts during captivity as a crime against humanity. Cruel treatment during captivity as a war crime. And outrages upon personal dignity during captivity as a war crime. These crimes were committed in the context of the ongoing armed conflict detailed in the applications, and as part of a widespread and systematic attack against the civilian population of Israel by Hamas and other armed groups. Sinwar, Deif, and Haniyeh not only planned and instigated the crimes committed on the 7th of October 2023 in our submission, they also acknowledged their responsibility through their own words and by their actions. They are charged both as co-perpetrators and as superiors. My office also submits today that there are reasonable grounds to believe that hostages taken from Israel, taken from their homes, taken from their communities, have been kept in inhumane conditions, and that some have been subjected to horrendous sexual violence, including rape, while being held in captivity. I can also confirm today that I have reasonable grounds to believe, on the basis of evidence collected and examined by my office, that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Minister of Defense Gallant bear criminal responsibility for the following international crimes committed on the territory of the State of Palestine from at least the 8th of October 2023. The crimes include starvation of civilians as a method of warfare, willfully causing great suffering, serious injury to body or health or cruel treatment, willful killing or murder, and intentionally directing attacks against a civilian population, as well as crimes against humanity of extermination and or murder, persecution, and allegations of crimes of committing other inhumane acts. It's alleged that these crimes were committed in the context of the ongoing armed conflict and as part of a widespread and systematic attack against the civilian population of Gaza, pursuant to a state policy. Unfortunately, these crimes continue to this day. My office submits that these individuals, through a common plan, have systematically deprived the civilian population of Gaza of objects indispensable to human survival. We have reached that conclusion based upon interviews with survivors, many eyewitnesses, experts, from satellite imagery, statements from Israeli officials, including the 2 individuals subject to the present application, as well as based upon several hundred authenticated videos, photographs, and audio recordings, many of which were taken and shared by victims and eyewitnesses themselves. This systematic deprivation resulted from a decision to impose a total siege on Gaza by completely closing the 3 border crossing points, Rafah, Kerem Shalom, and Erez, for extended periods of time, and by arbitrarily restricting the transportation of essential supplies, including food and medicine, through the border crossings after they were reopened. The siege, the total siege, also involved cutting off cross-border water pipelines from Israel to Gaza, which is the principal source of clean water for the population in Gaza. It was cut off for prolonged periods beginning on the 9th of October 2023, and it was accompanied by the cutting off or hindering of electricity supplies to Gaza from the 8th of October 2023 until today. That conduct took place alongside attacks that killed civilians, including people queuing for food, the obstruction of aid delivery by humanitarian organizations, and attacks on aid workers that forced many of those same humanitarian organizations to either cease operations or limit their life-saving efforts in Gaza. The tragic effect of the use of starvation as a method of warfare against Gaza's civilian population is acute, it's visible, and it's widely known, and it's confirmed by multiple witnesses and victims, including local and foreign medical doctors. That starvation has caused and continues to cause deaths, malnutrition, dehydration, and profound suffering among the population. Famine is already present in some areas of Gaza, and it is imminent in others. My office charges Netanyahu and Gallant as co-perpetrators and as superiors in the commission of these alleged crimes.
Get in the know, come on and get